I'm going to read the bit from the book.
Very raw.
Yeah, very. Or it's about the chaos of creation. How everything will eventually, return to this one unified kind of state. Yeah, so you're one of
like Eden. The Garden of Eden.
Yeah, you could very easily be like, I want to get back. Like everything you do is about bringing things back to that sort of base state. Everything's pure and one with God. That would work.
And what about questing? That could...
questing gives you defined goals that always push you forward, but unlike dynamic, they're not shifting. You'll actually have an idea of what it is you'll want to do. You'll be more driven, more determined to do these things.
I think I'll go for that one.
Awesome. Are we done here? Are we done on this bit?
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay, tradition. This is something you don't necessarily need. If you don't like the sound of any of these, this is the magical environment that you sort of most ascribe to. If you were taught by someone, they probably belong to this tradition, this group. But you could be self-taught, or you could have learnt with one of them and then decided that actually no, they don't fit how you think magic works. Alright?
Yep.
So the Akashic Brotherhood are very much sort of Far East, martial artsy, the perfection of the body leads to perfection to the mind and soul, that kind of thing. So they often practice, meditation, specific rites and dogma. Their specialty sphere, so basically you'll get one free dot in your specialty sphere if you choose to be part of this group, is mind. The Celestial Chorus, this might be one for Jim, or it might not, depending on
it is.
the point of view. So all representations of God and magic and everything beautiful come from one pure space, and that is essentially a higher God. So Buddha is just a facet of God, just as Krishna or any of the other gods are. They're all representations of one true God, and you are granted magic through this, and you want to achieve unity and bring everyone's souls together. You believe that Ascension is returning to this one true God.
Okay.
They quite often do magic by, practicing religious rites from their specific sort of chosen favourite religion, through song, through any kind of communal activity as well. You might actually have a cult, if you're a part of the Celestial Chorus. The Cult of Ecstasy believe in expanding their own horizons.
What was the sphere for Celestial Chorus?
Oh, the sphere is Prime. Prime is the magic.
Oh.
So the Cult of Ecstasy is all about expanding their horizons through drugs, through sex, through anything that ups their heart rate or slows their heart rate, changes their state of mind in any kind of way. Their specialty sphere is time, and they'll often do magic by, playing music, skydiving, taking drugs, any of that kind of thing.
That's why I'm in the Cult of Ecstasy.
Dream speakers are very sort of, if you can think of traditional kind of totemistic practices, or about spirit leaders, totem animals, the idea of a witch doctor kind of thing. That's where dream speakers come into. So they're very much about, communing with nature and the spirits and so on. And their specialty sphere is spirit.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, it does it. Yeah, spirit in this is a very clear, there is a spirit realm.
Wait, so is spirit more necromancy than life, do you think?
It depends. You could have both.
Okay.
That means you'll have zombies with personality.
For example, with life you can make a body, for example. With mind you could give it sentience, give it it knows what it's doing. And with spirit you can give it a soul. Lacking any one of these will make something not quite right.
Okay.
Oh, blimey.
So if you make something with life and mind, it's perfectly functional, but it has no idea of compassion, empathy, anything like that.
How
You basically can make a psychopath without spirit.
How split can you be along these? I mean, is it possible to just end up with drips in everything?
You will probably have 2 or 3 spheres at varying levels.
Is there a restriction on like putting an odd point here and there?
Not at all.
Okay.
In fact, you can't max anyone out at character creation, so you will be forced to split yourself between one or two lines, or 2 or 3 even. The Euthanatos are very much about getting rid of the old or things that are past their time in order to make way for the new, the sort of the real of reincarnation. Also, that all things must eventually die, otherwise things will stagnate and nothing new will happen. Their specialty sphere is entropy. Hollow ones don't have a specialty sphere, so you'll pick one to get your free point in, essentially. They're not respected by anyone else. They kind of go along they're a new tradition. They're very new age. They take lots of influences from goth culture, basically. The Order of Hermes are, if you imagine, actual stereotypical wizards with their wizard's formula, reading in old dead languages, researching the past. That's what the Order of Hermes is about. They believe that everything can be reduced down to this sort of magical formula, and that by knowing parts of it, that's how you can actually affect the world and cast actual spells. Their specialty sphere is forces. The Sons of Aether are mad scientists. They have an understanding of science that obviously far surpasses those of mere...
Is that what they were called in Vampire the Masquerade? The crazy, intelligent ones.
They would be the nearest... If you made a Son of Aether a vampire, they'd probably become a Malkavian. So they do things with hyperscience. You won't actually have to explain things by scientific principles, but whenever you do a spell, it's probably because you've made some crazy device that does it. And their specialty sphere is matter. The Verbena are very much about the power of life force and the power of blood. Quite often they do things like old paganistic rituals. They're called hedge wizards, and their specialty is life. And finally, Virtual Adepts are another new tradition, and they basically think things work like they do in the Matrix. They hack reality, they work through their computers. Their specialty sphere is correspondence.
What is the setting of this game again?
It's modern day, but all of the nasty things in the night do exist.
What about Orphan?
Orphan is you don't have a
basically
tradition.
the secret world.
That's awesome.
So does anyone have, or does everyone have an idea of what tradition they might want to be?
I will go with Celestial Chorus.
Awesome.
If you don't pick one, do you
You're an
still
orphan.
get a free pot?
You do, you get to put it anywhere.
Oh, word, okay.
And
Basically.
the not picking one is...
But you won't get the benefit of having an organisation per se.
That's okay.
How much does this come into role playing? I mean, because Gone.
A lot of it will come into later on. You choose background. So if you pick mentor, he will probably be a mentor from your, but you might not have a mentor now. You might have access to libraries of these people. So how much you interact depends quite often a lot on what your character is further down the line. If you don't like the idea of any of these sort of defined ways of doing magic, pick Orphan and come up with your own one.
Is there any way to like slightly split yourself between the two?
Yeah, pick a main one, and that'll be the one which you will. So you'll get your sphere from that, from being, you initiated
that works.
magic that way.
Good.
But this is, I mean, this is merely something. You're never locked into anything. This is something on the character sheet. Hello, Circular.
Hey.
Hello.
What are you guys up to?
We're making characters for Mage.
The Ascension.
Which is a pen and paper RPG without the pen and paper.
Because we're playing it over the internet.
Word,
I brought a pen and paper with me, just so I can get into the mood.
Pardon? Oh, you've got pen and paper right there.
I brought a pen and paper with me, just to get into the mood.
And let's just scribble things down. So yeah, does everyone have an idea of their tradition?
Yep.
Especially Fiyenyaa.
I ain't got none.
You ain't got none?
That's what my tradition is.
Oh, Orphan, then.
I thought because your guy
That's called if you don't have any.
Yeah, that's what it's called, yeah.
I was thinking that you might go with the computer one, because the accountant might be used to using computers.
My Photoshop the World guy was a virtual adept. as an example. Whereas my...
Got it. I'm going to go for them.
You'll be virtual adept?
Yep.
Awesome. Concept is where you can just write a couple of words to give yourself an idea.
The new Jesus.
Yep, that'll do. Cabal, that is what you as a group call yourself, so that can be whatever the hell you guys decide at some later point.
When we actually meet up with each other.
Right. This bit will actually
Is it not competitive then? Are we sort of...
It's not competitive, it's...
Oh, right, okay.
But you're allowed to... You can backstab each other if you really want. Like, you can have your own goals, you can deceive each other. One of the important things is removing what you as a person know from what you as a character know. So if another character lies to you and successfully lies to you, you have to go, okay, I know he's lying to me, but act as if you didn't, if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
That's one of the sort of the challenges of... so the next bit is, so you see you've got physical, social, and mental. I want you to prioritise these. What's the first important, second, and third?
Do you mean...
In the attribute section, what is the most...
The categories or the individual ones?
The categories.
Okay.
Well, so we pick one from each.
Maybe
No, so you just
mentalize.
pick what is your character more focused on the mental than the social? Is is his body the prime thing and physical is the most important to him? So just ignore everything underneath that. Just those three words, which is the most important. Yeah.
Right to left then. Mental,
Yeah.
social, physical.
That's exactly what I've gone for.
Same.
Right, everyone's done that.
Same.
Mental, social,
Awesome.
physical.
All right, in your prime one, you have 7 points to spend. You've already got 1 point in each of the 3 things, so you can put the others however you like among them.
So that's 7 minus 3, so 4 points to spend?
Oh no, 7 on top of the 3.
Okay.
So you should have 10 total in mental. If anyone has any questions about what perception, intelligence, or wits mean, you can ask.
What do you gain from wits that you don't gain from intelligence? Is it like quick
wits
thinking
is
or...
quick thinking, instincts. So quite often a skill you might, for example, computers, you probably use intelligence, but if you're trying to do something under duress, or maybe you're hacking against, some server admin or something, that would be wits all of a sudden. Because you can no longer sort of rely on thinking things through, you have to do it instinctually.
Okay, I did that.
And perception is, how good are your eyes, ears, nose.
Is it directly
hands.
coming from the Masquerade
Pardon?
vampires? Is it directly inherited from Vampire the Masquerade?
It's the same game system.
Oh, that's cool.
Except for in this you play mages rather than vampires. If you learn this, there's demon and mummy and changeling. Although
Sorry,
changeling is the most out there.
We've got
points.
7 extra points in mental. What about the other 2?
In the second one, you have 5, and in the third one you have 3.
And these are on top of the starting?
And these are on top of the starting ones.
Okay.
For an idea, 1 is if you've got 1 dot on something, you're deficient. 2 is average sort of human level, and 5 is obviously the best. The best.
The best.
So, did you
But
say
you
we have
can't
a
max out in the beginning, right?
You can for attributes, you can't for the abilities bit later on.
Okay.
So
we
you
have-
can be a genius if you wanted.
We have an extra 3 that can go anywhere, did you say, or...
So for your primary one,
Is 7.
7, then 5,
Yeah.
then 3.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
Right, I'm gonna leave you guys to it.
Okay.
It's actually complicated.
Circular
See you,
answer
Selection,
direction
I
1.
love you.
I'm free to play.
Should I tell you what I've done?
Oh yeah, you tell me what you've done.
He just
Okay,
disconnected
so-
completely easy.
Mental is forward perception, forward...
Is that 4
intelligence.
total, or you're adding 4 dots? Sorry.
No, 4 total, including
Cool.
the 3 base. Forward perception, forward intelligence, 2 in wits.
Yep, that's good.
I have 2 in perception, 5 in intelligence, and 3 in wit. Because I'm a smoker, I don't have much perception of anything.
Yeah, your sense has been dulled.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's true actually.
How intelligent would this guy be? He probably wouldn't be that
I'm really
if he-
intelligent.
If my guy was he could be a theologian, I suppose.
Well, to be fair, yeah, I mean, even you can be really intelligent and believe something different.
Remember intelligence?
My Glaswegian rapper is perceptive but not very intelligent.
Wait.
Are you focused on mental as well?
Yeah.
You're
Wow.
from Glasgow too.
That's awesome.
Oh, yo.
You're role-playing a Glaswegian rapper.
Fiyenyaa, can you tell me your social stats?
Yeah. 2 4 manipulation, 2 appearance.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh no, wait, no, I get what manipulation is. Yeah.
Yeah. And physical
is 2 strength, 3 dexterity, 1.
No, you're a bit ailing.
He's fat. He's fat.
He's fat. That's absolutely fine.
He's a Glaswegian fat.
Has everyone done this?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright. For anyone that you have 4 or more in, you get to choose a specialty. That can be basically anything that's linked to that word, and you are better at this kind of thing. So maybe manipulation, you're good at lying to people or turning their emotions against them.
How do you call it when you are able to get anything cheaper than the normal price? Haggling or something, right?
That would probably be charisma, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Actually, no.
I have 4 points in
Or
charisma.
manipulation.
Unless you were female and it was appearance instead.
Oh.
Well, what if
Well, appearance is the strength of your appearance. You can be butt ugly at appearance 4, but people will notice you. Like that's imagine what's his name? He was in the Expendables with the scars.
Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, he might be an appearance 4. You notice him in a crowd. That's him. Like, and he can leverage that. He can use that to be intimidating rather than charming.
Oh.
Does anyone have any trouble at this point?
Well, for my intelligence, because I have 5 points in intelligence, the skill I want to write out, it just doesn't fit.
Tell me what it is and we'll see if we can work it down.
I able to prove any theory.
What?
No, I can think of...
Are you talking about an actual proof or
reasoning.
Reasoning.
You're able to work things through logically and slowly, and come to a reasonable... That works as one. As an example. If you need examples, I can read some out.
Well, that's something like, I don't know, like hiding what you actually think from other people.
Oh, what, for which one? Manipulation?
Yeah, or would that more be
poker
or
face.
something?
Yeah, poker face is an absolutely good one, yeah.
I'll take
Whenever
that.
you're trying to disguise how you really feel, you get a bonus.
Should I write this stuff somewhere down at the bottom then, or?
If you can't fit it, yeah, place it somewhere. Say, there should be a notes section, I think. There isn't. Put that in description, basically. If you can't fit it in. And this is mostly for your gain, if that makes sense.
I'm trying to work out what to do with his intelligence. I think with the manipulation one, he is good at converting people who are already open to other faiths. But intelligence, I'm not sure what to do with that.
Can I have some examples for wits and charisma?
For wits, ever ready, witty conversationalist, intuitive.
I was
You can
thinking
have the
that
same intelligence perk as me, by the way, Jim. Just reasoning, able to reason people into...
Well, that was
what you are telling is right.
That was going to be his manipulation one.
Okay.
So he might, I mean, he might be wrong about
Something.
Christian God,
But he can
but he's
convince
good
you
at
about
convince. Yeah.
Yeah. Convincing is a perfectly good one.
Well, that's his manipulate. I think I need a
Manipulation, right, yeah.
manipulation one and an intelligence one.
Maybe your subject authority.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I know
dropped out.
absolutely everything there is about religious text. You know, whenever it comes to anything to do with theology, you'll get a bonus.
But Fiyenyaa dropped out, just so you know.
Is that going to happen a
well,
lot?
your character probably.
For manipulation,
Yeah.
my guy, essentially, he's like a born-again hobo, I think.
Right.
And this is why he wants everything, he wants the finer things so much, because he's had, like...
He's had it before and he's lost them.
So his manipulation, because of his hobo lifestyle, is that he's really good at scrounging, but people don't find it's being rude. They're like, oh yeah, sure.
What about
But when
guilt?
you're- Sorry?
You're good at making people feel guilty and therefore giving you things.
Okay, no, guilt tripper, that's fine.
Yeah. Or I mean, if you want to do, I'm trying to think of a word for what you described though. Manipulation is hard because it's such a long word, it doesn't give you as much space.
I'm writing them on history at the bottom.
Oh, cool. Is everyone... Oh, wait.
Does flatterer work with charisma? I mean, it could be manipulation. Flatterer.
It depends whether you're doing it on more of a...
I'm doing it on a...
Is it an over time thing, or is like as the first time you meet, or to a group of people? Which is it going to be?
I think it just ties into my nature. Right? I'll always be paying people compliments, flattering them. Yeah.
What levels have you got?
What in
your social?
4 in charisma, 2 in manipulation, 2 in appearance.
Flatterer goes fine with charisma, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I know. For intelligence,
it means you're probably always flirting whenever you meet people for the first time. Like, you never not.
Just anyone involuntarily.
Yeah, you know, there are some people who are like that, and he's very good at it.
Could I say that he has knowledge of past lives, and that's his intelligence power. So he knows about things that happened in the past from either from his past lives or by like chatting to God and asking him to get someone in heaven, find out what happened.
If you can boil that down, yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Like, you can think you draw inspiration. Maybe inspiration actually is a good one.
Maybe he has a direct channel with God.
He thinks he does, at the very least.
Maybe I'll go with maybe that's a bit overpowered, but can commune with his past lives, or maybe his family or something. Dead family.
Well, that's probably going to come more down to a specific magical thing you do. But something like inspiration or vision, you get some flashes of brilliance that you would reason is because you've communicated with something above and beyond yourself, or with your destiny, or whatever you think that is where it comes from. If that makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
So one of those words to do nicely.
So for charisma, how would you get across this sort of concept that he's a bit of a showman, that he'll entertain a crowd or something like that? He'll...
Entertainer?
Entertainer, social flexibility maybe, he can fit into any situation. He's not particularly good at anything, but he's got a good baseline. Maybe you've got a winning smile.
I like that. Winning smile.
Winning smile.
Perfect.
Yeah, you walk into a room, you flash your hobo smile.
People
like it
to be referred to.
People just want to be nice to you, you know. You just win them over.
Character a hobo.
I'm sorry?
Is your character a hobo?
He's had a bit of a hobo lifestyle, and the way I see it, what comes to my mind is that he was, I don't know, because he was just a vagrant on the streets, he just got locked up and was like, I don't really want to be here, and just sort of melted the wall away or something like that.
That could be the act of desperation where you first get your inspiration from magic.
I think so.
Is everyone done with this bit?
Perception.
Yeah, okay.
For that.
Oh, perception.
No.
Oh, right. That's okay. You got any ideas, or...?
Got 4, I don't really know.
Do I need to pick a power?
Have you got anything that's 4 or above?
Yeah.
Then for these, yeah, you're picking a specialty. Something that you are uniquely better at than other people of that level.
Okay.
Perception maybe...
I've got perception's 5.
Knowledge of the sort of properties, I suppose that would be intelligence.
Raise your hand.
Make up something.
Soriasku, you go first.
Knowledge of that wall, for example, you know that it would be sort of weak in various spots. Therefore, that would be easier to...
Maybe analytical. You're very good at breaking things down to their sort of base components and working out what they are.
That's good. Yep.
Awesome. Hexagonal, your question. And I'm actually pointing to the left. I'm assuming you're on the left.
Wait, do I only get a power in something that I've got 5 points in there?
4. 4 or above.
4. Oh god, that's 3 things.
Yeah. I mean, what you have to understand, you would get, if I was, say, building, like, the guy on the street, they would get far less points than this. You are exceptional people.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. More so than we are ourselves.
I changed my points around, so I only got 2.
What?
Pressure.
Fair enough.
Actually, I just want 1. Just want to be really perceptive.
Oh my god.
Like maybe So is there a set group of ones that I pick from, or do I make one up?
Make one up. I mean, there are examples.
Okay, well, how about like, I've got really high perception. So how about like insightful, like can analyze things and
that
I don't
is
know,
actually
maybe detect
one of
something
the
about
examples.
them. So
yeah,
like,
it's
something
like
to do with analysis.
You pick up things.
Cool.
Little details pop out at you. That's what you're very
Cool.
good with perception. That's great. Insightful is awesome.
I know what my perception one's going to be. The ability to spot an investment opportunity. Accountancy, baby.
So what, you always notice something that you can use to further your own...
That I can profit
for your own,
basically.
yeah.
Is Fiyennea's character just going to be rich?
Yes, that's one of the choices you will make later on.
So you're a selfless...
Later
I mean,
on you get
not
7
selfless,
points
selfish.
in backgrounds, and this could be from things like you know people to I've got money. Lots of different things.
Why is he depressed if he's got so much money?
I mean, lots of people
Or is he
are
a
depressed
rabbit?
with lots of
Can't
money.
buy me love.
Yeah, money can't buy him. He's got everything in the world he needs, but
Yeah, but
someone to
he's
cuddle
got
with.
money and magic. He could summon a wife.
Magic can't. Whoa.
They always go away.
Or buy one.
Or buy one, yeah, but it's not real love.
It's
And
not that
this is stuff you should shout at him. You should be like, encourage, like, oh, why are you so fucking mopey?
the fat, scuffed
Says the bum
bastard.
to the rich guy.
Yeah.
Like, give me
You
a bit
need
of
God.
Alright,
Have you considered letting God into your life?
are we able to move on?
I think so.
I need with an intelligence.
Underground rap can also provide some insightful life meaning.
He's a poet. A modern day poet.
Alright, what was your question, Fiyenyaa? Oh shit, I need to write these in for you as well.
Intelligence one.
Fuck. Alright, what was your perception? Your perception was... Shit, I can't remember.
Basically profiting from stuff. Being able to find.
Finds opportunity.
Opportunist.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, opportunist, even better. That's much better. Yeah,
Yes,
that's a better
that's
word.
an actual word.
And it fits in that
Finds
space.
opportunity.
Yeah, he's an opportunity. He notices things that he can capitalise on.
What's some good intelligence example?
What's your character?
How about
You can be
Chess
good.
Grandmaster?
Yeah, okay, I'll go with
Creative or
Chess Grandmaster.
no, not creative.
systematic.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Automatic.
That's a good one.
This car is greased.
I mean, a lot of these words you'll notice
Yeah,
are
yeah.
very similar to each other, but it's up to me to work out when they apply. And your manipulation one was like
Poker face.
poker face.
Oh my god, that's
Poker
terrifying.
face.
If I were doing my character's voice, he'd sound like a southern preacher.
Yeah,
Well,
You can do it as much as you like. You can try.
Like all good Buddha.
Alright, are we able to move on?
Yes.
Fantastic.
I
Alright,
think so, yeah.
the next bit, so abilities, once again, you choose whether you want knowledge, skills or talents to be top priority, then second, then third priority. So this is what your character's learnt to do or is innately good at. That kind of thing. The only one that might not be noticeable, awareness, is essentially how in tune you are with magical goings on. Alertness is the mundane thing. Yeah, cosmology is your knowledge of the stars and
Yeah.
different
And the
realms.
origin of the universe.
Yeah, if you've got points in that, you might...
I'm almost...
No, oh yeah, this is how this works, but it is because God did it.
Well, yeah, that would be the...
Yeah.
Cosmology is interesting, but my character's supposed to be a Christian.
Well, you might have 3 ranks in cosmology purely because, or well, probably not 3, but 2 ranks in cosmology because you've learned the arguments people use against you.
Or you could just say God made the Big Bang.
Yeah, like yeah, I agree with everything you say scientifically, but it is God that did it.
So
I mean,
how
that's
many
a
points do we
common
get?
argument. So in your primary one, whichever of these columns you've chosen, 13. Second,
13.
9. 13, yeah. So you get a lot of these. And your tertiary one, 5. None of these can go higher than 3, though, at this point.
Do we have special abilities like in attributes or?
Later you might earn them.
Okay.
But
Was
for now
it
you can only
19,
put 3 points.
13 and 5?
13, 9 and 5.
13, 9 and 5.
What's enigmas?
Enigmas is puzzles and mysteries. You've got a good mind. So maybe 1 dot represents, oh, you do the Sunday crossword. And it's the cryptic crossword as well. But up to 3, you unravel like conspiracy